Have you visited us online for the grand opening of KBLA.store? For the best in new merch, gift ideas, books, media, and more, log on to KBLA.store. Be sure to check out our KBLA team favorites at KBLA.store today. That's KBLA.store for all the official merch on your favorite talk radio station, KBLA Talk 1580.
Happy Hump Day. You are locked into RSVPs with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. We are live from Lamert Park, giving you all the trending topics and headlines in entertainment, sports, lifestyle, and culture. I'm Jill Munroe, joined with my contributor, Trent the Artist, Trent Jackson. You know, last night Andy mentioned, because he was playing some deep cuts, that he had some deep cuts.
Shout out to my boy Andy. I was driving to the bar, okay? Shout out to the bar that I go to. I was driving to the bar on my way there for Taco Tuesday, and I heard the conversation, and I was like, uh-oh. I'm like, he's about to bring me up in this battle, and I was like, I love it. So thanks for the shout-out last night. I appreciate it.
So
I always listen, even when I'm not here. So.
Which I appreciate. Shout out to you, always checking in. Yeah. That is why you are the Keep It Real friend, because you know, you hitting them corners, so you don't know where the cats and Cody's are.
Yeah, always.
So, I don't know if you heard about this, Trent.
You know, I haven't watched the news. I had a very interesting, peculiar night last night that didn't end till 7 o'clock this morning, so I'm only operating on like an hour of sleep. So please update me on everything that's happened, because I don't know.
Listen.
Andy, you have questions back there. I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Listen.
Okay, correct.
So, yesterday, we know that the verdict came down for Tory Lanez and the amount of time he would be sentenced for.
Kind of saw that, yeah.
So, essentially, in the process of that, you know, the judge hit him with 10 years, and part of the reasoning was because of Tory's blatant manner with which he conducted himself in the months and years leading up to the trial.
The nonchalantness, yeah.
Taunting and so forth that he had going on. And it was also revealed by his lawyers and as well by the judge, something that he took into consideration, that Tory had leaked, allegedly, a document, some information to Akademics, who's a Twitch streamer, blogger. I don't think he's actually a DJ, but, you know, he discussed hip-hop things.
Yeah, he has like a podcast, right?
I think so.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
He annoys me.
Well, so years ago, when he had a show on Complex, they were interviewing Erykah Badu, right?
Isn't that when she's like, you remind me of something, and she looked at him and she's like, I can't figure out what it is, but it's something, and she eventually, isn't that?
It is. So back in 2017, on an episode of Complex's Everyday Struggle, she basically compared Akademics to Jerry the Mouse from Tom and Jerry.
That's it.
So she was like, let me tell you this. Well, she was looking, she was like, you remind me. So anyway,
very Piscean.
So basically, when someone was discussing what happened, they made a comment, something about Erykah Badu needs to work her magic stick on him, right? Well, apparently, Akademics did not like that. He did not like the mentioning of her. He did not like that there was anything associated with her brought up, and he decided to go in on her on his stream. He was like, and I'm not going to play the clip because there would be too many bleeps, and, you know, it wouldn't even be worth it because you couldn't hear what he was saying. So I'm going to break it down. He said, Erykah Badu, let me tell you this. Keep my name out of your bleep mouth. Listen, that little everyday struggle stuff was another era, my G. I'm down to violate all you people these days. F what you all are going through. Don't mention my name. I don't mess with any of you. Again, I'm taking out the curse words.
But this is the same guy who's known for starting stuff.
We're not done yet. We're not done yet. I never messed again. replacing words, with Erykah Badu after she was trying to come on my show and be funny. B, I don't mess with you. Now what's up? What you finna do, B? You old, another word, you know? You just keep getting messed with by these young whippersnappers. And how many rappers have you run through? How many have bleeped in you? How many young rappers have you chased? He went really hard, all because someone suggested that she wave her magic wand. Well, let me tell you what. Erykah Badu is who you thought she was. So she did a live. And basically, her response was, well, listen, apparently I triggered you, Akademics. He was very hurt by something that happened a few years ago. And, you know, it has essentially caused a lot of conversation. And if you don't know Erykah, apropos, as Shannon just left discussing her candles, well, Erykah also has a scent line that she sells, right?
Yeah.
Incense line. And it's called Erykah Badu Kitty. It's not kitty, but we're just saying kitty, right? And so Erykah's basic point was, since everybody's discussing my kitty, why don't you light it up and see what it smells like and go buy it? And she put Jerry the Mouse on the cover of the Erykah Badu's kitty. And she said that it sold out in a half an hour. All, I believe, did she say she made 10,000 limited edition versions of it? I think that's the number that she said. No, 1,000 boxes. So 1,000 limited edition boxes sold out.
Perfect.
So my question to you is it ever too late to come with that smoke if you feel that you were disrespected, one? And two, should Ak really be this hurt that he has all this commentary on, to Erykah's point, a kitty he will never get close to sniffing? So why is he consulting?
You know, I understand addressing something. Sometimes you don't address it in the moment because it makes it a bigger, issue than what it is. And especially in our industry, sometimes you just, bite the bullet and you be quiet, because you and I both, we sit on stories about people all the time. He was obviously triggered. Listen, sometimes it's better to just be quiet. People have said stuff to me, trying to get me to say stuff about people that I don't particularly like or whatever. Just be quiet. That's all. It's really that simple. It's not. And this is coming from a loudmouth who loves to talk. Be quiet. You ain't gotta say nothing all the time. Come on, just be cool. But there's also something about a man going back and forth with a woman in public like this.
That seems
over
a bit
something
suspect,
over
right?
something that happened years ago. Like, if you was that mad, you could have addressed it in the moment. But if it's like 5, 6 years, come on, don't do that.
I mean, and you bring up a very good point, because several people pointed out that, Akademic has received smoke from male rappers, other commentators, and didn't have this much aggression, didn't have this much commentary. When we come forward, we will continue on this topic of Erykah Badu versus Akademic. We'll also get into what's going on with the younger generation right now. Seems that they're having less sex. We're going to look into some of the reasons why. Yes. They are, according to studies. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to get into a couple stories regarding Marlon Wayans and his opinion. We're going to give you a Cardi B update, all that and more. You are listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Dominique DePrima here. Having a good credit score is one critical step to obtain a loan to buy a home. But did you know that your credit score is just one factor in getting a mortgage loan? Think about this. Lenders also consider your income, your employment history, current monthly debt, the size of the loan, and the amount of your down payment. Whatever your financial goals, U.S. Bank Access Commitment Initiatives support you in reaching them. Access your personal financial goals at usbank.com/access. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Need help with the job hunt? It can be challenging, but don't worry. LA County has your back. With a variety of available support services, you'll get the help you need while finding a job. We're here to help you succeed. Let's get started. Find out if you qualify at recovery.lacounty.gov/programs. That's recovery.lacounty.gov/programs. LA County and you, moving forward together.
Have you heard about Lendistry? Lendistry is a national Black-led small business lender that is headquartered right here in LA. Once you've started your business, Lendistry provides flexible financing options starting at $50,000 to help you access the affordable capital needed to grow. Whether financing is needed to increase working capital, acquire a business, purchase inventory and equipment, or refinance debt, Lendistry has a solution for you. Lending products range from traditional business term loans and non-revolving lines of credit to SBA 7A loans and commercial real estate financing. Lendistry's free application process is simple and does not impact your credit score. Visit lendistry.com/get started with an application right from the website.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
The rent is too damn high. KBLA joins you in calling for affordable housing. The LA Tenants Union is a diverse, tenant-led movement fighting for the human right to housing for all. The LA Tenants Union demands safe, affordable housing and union rent control. They organize against landlord harassment, mass evictions, and displacement, and mobilize for the repeal of the Ellis Act and Costa-Hawkins Act. The LA Tenants Union is on a mission to strengthen tenants' political power through education, advocacy, and direct action. To get help with your eviction or other landlord-tenant issues, take action for justice, or become a member, visit latenantsunion.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, it's Jill Munroe. You are locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. I am not alone. I am joined by Trent Jackson, Trent the Artist, here, our Keep It Real
Thanks
friend.
for having me.
Of course, we are always excited to have you in the building.
I'm excited to be here.
Your commentary.
Yeah.
So, I just want to wrap up kind of on this Erykah Badu Akademics thing. You know, I find it interesting that Ak is so willing to go after her for what? Like, what does it really mean? If she's all of these things, nothing to be, and she didn't even jump into the mix in this fray, why are you so hurt?
I mean,
Summer Walker left a comment. She was like, time to get the pot, mama. I'm coming over. So, you know, you better leave them women alone. You don't know what they could be down there in Texas cooking up. Quit playing.
Whatever. It's whatever. He's whatever. He's a waste.
Of course, you know, if you have comments, feel free to call in 800-920-1580. Also, the YouTube chat is always lit. Urban Spinster just dropped by and wants to know, did we revisit Hoochie Daddies on Tubi? I hadn't realized that it is record-breaking for an all-lesbian cast to be on a reality show. And that it is. I believe it is. We did revisit it. I think it was last week or the week before. We kind of left it where it was. We caught a few episodes.
Not particularly the Hoochie Daddies that I want to see. But, yeah. I got through, the challenge. It was interesting, yeah. And it's for who it's designed for.
I didn't make it to the challenge.
I don't think it's for us to make it that far.
Okay. Well, I didn't make it there.
It's for a very specific audience, and it's cool. I like it. It's just not for me.
But I appreciate the recommendations. So you guys keep them coming for the 2B situations. We're going to talk about The Threat Next Door in hour 3.
Listen, I have a recommendation this week.
Okay, and we'll get to Trent's recommendation. So we'll get to that in hour 3. But meanwhile, right? there is a new phenomenon that's taking place. And I thought it was kind of interesting.
Tell me more.
But, I mean, it kind of tracks. It makes sense. So, reportedly, young adults are having less sex than the previous generation.
Oh, so
right?
Than us.
So, millennial and baby boomers. Millennials and Gen Zers are engaging in less sexual activity and have fewer sexual partners compared to previous generations. So some factors they believe that are contributing to the decline of sexual activity amongst the youth include technology, increased reliance on cell phones and social media for interactions, and therefore has led to less and less personal encounters, and then awkwardness within those personal encounters because they don't have them and they don't know how to react with one another. One of the other factors they believe is heavy schedules. They believe that these people are very, very busy. These are what they say, I guess. They took a poll amongst, we'll get to that. Basically, this interview, we'll get to it now. There was a UCLA California Health interview study that revealed that 38% of young Californians aged 18 to 30 reported having no sexual partners in the past year, and that is up from 22% in 2011. So,
nope.
38% of people from 18 to 30 had zero sexual partners in the prior year.
Wow.
They also said some of the other reasons for this are slower development. Young people are delaying traditional milestones such as getting driver's license, moving out of home, and it's sort of resulting in a slower path to adulthood. So I guess an extended youthhood, I guess, perhaps. Kind of makes sense. Of course, the impact of COVID-19 and that, those months of isolations and shutdown has, switched things off. Social isolation, I thought that was pretty interesting.
That's
again, because of technology. Also relating back to that is how dating has become more challenging. And also, they said the University of Chicago's General Social Survey found that 30% of Gen Z males aged 18 to 25 and 25% of Gen Z females reported no sexual activity in their prior year. So it's a thing. That's like a quarter and above. We're almost in that 40% range. Andy, you look like you have a comment.
Did they state like the demographics on these
They
studies?
did not. They just said the age range, not the So let me ask you, do you believe that there's a difference in demographics? Do you think that maybe a black or a brown demographic would have different numbers?
I don't know if it's necessarily race. I'm thinking maybe more a class thing.
Okay.
Because you said, what was this, UCLA and Cal?
UCLA and the University of Chicago.
It just got me thinking, like, who did they survey? Did they survey college students? Did they survey folks from the community?
It just says young Californians ages 18 to 30.
Okay.
Doesn't give any specific details, but you're right. That is a good point because depending upon who's involved in the survey.
I have a 21-year-old at home, so. And I'm just thinking about the 21-year-old that's in my house, and I'm thinking like, check all these things, and I'm like, interesting. So it's, I feel sad for this generation, because first of all, there is no rush to having sex. Number one,
right?
That's number one. So there's benefits to this, but socially, you do need that as a component in order, to grow up essentially. So I feel kind of bad, and I've said this before. This is one reason why I want some of these internet functions to break, because it is not allowing people to properly socialize and do things that, we did. So,
normal rites of passage.
Yeah. So for instance, like the 21-year-old in my house just learned to start driving. This is something that I was doing. Baby, I was at the DMV on my 16th birthday. Stop playing with me.
Bing, bing.
Let's
they
go.
don't. But here's the thing, and Andy, I think you wanted to say something.
No, I think Trent kind of alluded to it just now, but I think social media has definitely changed the game. I think. Let me speak for a man. I think it has. Let me say this: for certain women, I'm speaking very general. I think there's this archetype that you see on social media. Well, yeah, it goes both ways. I take that. It goes both ways. There's this archetype that you see on social media that individuals want and that they're trying to be as well too. That's changing the game. So in essence, before social media, I probably would have got played. But now with social media, you got everybody, high value man, this, that, and the third. If you're not living up to those standards, then I might not get played.
6'4", a 6-7 figure bank accountant job, driving a Lamborghini, $250,000 first date, all of that to go along with your Instagram model baddie that's a foreign, that has a BBL and a body that won't stop, a little Botox, a little plumping, but it's still all natural. Yeah, I think it's a different time. I do know.
You need to stop, because that sounded like a descriptive of a Black Mirror episode.
I'm just saying, here's the thing. The reality is, one, social media definitely plays heavily into this. I think that we talk about it all the time. People don't necessarily know how to interact in person, face-to-face anymore. There are challenges to, even how to speak to each other, how to approach someone, what is appropriate, what is considered okay, especially as we are coming off of, too, a change in dynamics between men and women and what is appropriate. What is a compliment anymore? Is it okay to say this? Is it okay to even step to you in this manner? All of that is changing, which I think has left a lot of people confused. So they leave it to texting or online, where you can allow the imagination to fill in and you can be whatever you want to be, and you don't have to worry about the physical aspect so soon. So I don't know. It's an interesting time period. Urban Spinster says, we had driver's ed at my school, and yes, I got my driver's license at 16. It's definitely, I don't think it's a priority anymore either, because we have things like Uber. You don't have to rely on your parents. You don't have to, necessarily just be on the bus and be uncomfortable out in the element. You can get a ride here to there. There's no such thing as, oh, you want to go? I can't even pick you up. Do you know what I'm saying? You got $25, you can get there, So I just think that personal interaction is very different in this time period. And honestly, I don't think it's just with the younger generation. I think even if it hasn't maybe had an impact on sex with the older generations, I think it has an impact on how they interact with each other in the interpersonal communications.
It's so interesting, because I'm having like 8 conversations in my head right now, and I can only give you privy to like 2 because the other few are inappropriate. But it makes sense why it's interesting, because I attract a lot of people that are like half my age. And I'm like, excuse me, newsflash, like, I'm your dad. What are you doing? Like, calm down and relax. But when the conversation, comes up, it's like, oh, the people in your age bracket don't know how to do this, so you have to go where you get it, because you're not getting it. Got it. Okay, boom. So I just made that connection just now. But also too, it's technology. It's really the technology, and it's like,
you don't have the same need to be in the room with your friends, because you don't feel like you're missing out, because you can be there with a video, with a picture. You're not missing out on anything in the same way that you were there before. Before, if you were at home on a Friday night back in the day and you had no whip, and cell phones weren't that popular, or everybody didn't have one and didn't have the camera phone, you were just at home missing it, wondering. Now you could be at home watching your favorite TV show, hitting it. Well, they're not watching TV, on Netflix, playing the game and checking in on your friends and what they're doing over there, and not miss a beat. Andy, what do you have to say?
What year was this study conducted?
2021.
The pandemic. The pandemic.
And that
changed everything.
Totally.
Everybody was in the house stuck.
Yep.
How can I get into it with somebody if, I'm at the house stuck?
Fact. So they did include the pandemic as one of the factors, but some of the they also followed up a bit in 2022, and they just said overall it's a different factor, a different note, So I don't know. I think that it will be interesting to see the evolution. I mean, we certainly, when you hear the description of things like even these alt-right groups that are out there and things like that, one of the continued sort of factors that are related to them is a lack of sex that they're having and, complaining about it.
That
and
is so
companionship
bizarre to me that people are not doing it because it's like, it's strange to me because one thing I've noticed about people in our age group, like that technology has helped some people have the ability to get it more in places that they usually wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting that we're going to be made up of just old hoochies and pretty soon because the young people are not doing it.
Because the thing is this, I think they can talk about it more than they have to do it because, one, people think they have endless options, and even if they see these options, they're not really all available to you.
They're not endless.
So they're not, diving into or really committing to things because, I might have action over here. It's really a different time.
Can we just let's reset it?
Reset it, the reset button?
Yeah.
And
I want them to conduct this same study in 2 years and see if the numbers match.
You think that the numbers will go up? I actually think, maybe slightly, but I actually don't think that there's going to be a lot of difference just because, I'm going to tell you why, because I think that people are underestimating how much people are not really connecting in person. Do you know what I mean? Like, they may be talking through Instagram. They may be having these chats. It may even be hot and heavy conversations, but people aren't really, really connecting. And so when they do meet up face-to-face,
it doesn't translate.
It doesn't translate at all.
You're so right. You're so right about that.
Also, OnlyFans.
Again, another illusion. They think that there is a facade of intimacy and sexuality that we're living through right now. That's not real. People think that they are more aware of their sexuality, but they don't know how to elicit it and connect in person because they're not really utilizing that aspect of themselves. They're just talking about it, or they're over-sexualized because they see all these images everywhere, but they're not really taking it in and understanding. So, just my thoughts.
Come on, let's reset. This is out of control. I don't like. It's only gonna it's only gonna get progressively worse. As technology advances, and now we've got this whole AI play into this thing. So now you're about to be talking to people, interacting with whole holograms that aren't even real. Right.
That is the other thing because we talked about last night on the show.
What? I'm so glad that I was born when I was born because now I know the difference, and it is. I'm looking forward to being an old hoochie. You know that since old people's the only ones that's doing it these days. Listen, because I don't want nothing that these kids is offering. They can't cook. They can't do nothing but press buttons and order stuff off apps. They might as well be Vanna White. Stop playing with me.
When we come forward, we will have more on this conversation. Plus, we'll get into what's going on with Cardi B, why Cardi B is about her dollars. We'll get into what happened with Henry Ruggs and his conviction, all that and more. You are listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Former Black Orlando Area State Attorney Monique Worrell says she'll challenge today's suspension by Governor DeSantis in the courts, but she's not hopeful she'll get her job back. Governor DeSantis suspended Worrell by executive order for dereliction of duty on crimes, saying her office has routinely allowed criminals to receive extremely reduced sentences. In Philadelphia, the Made in America Festival is being canceled due to severe circumstances. The Jay-Z event featured Lizzo, who is currently under fire for allegations of workplace harassment. It's not clear whether the current controversy is the reason for the festival's cancellation. The microphone tossed by Cardi B during a recent Las Vegas, Nevada show is going for nearly $100,000 at auction. On this day in history, back in 1936, Jesse Owens became the first American to win 4 medals in one Olympics. And that is the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Boost your imagination with Audible. Listen to the biggest selection of audio entertainment, from celeb memoirs to motivation and more. Audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. There's more to imagine when we listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
Gotta stay fresh, ma. I don't shop with a rec spot.
Have you visited us online for the grand opening of KBLA.store? For the best in new merch, gift ideas, books, media, and more, log on to KBLA.store. Be sure to check out our KBLA teen favorites at KBLA.store today. That's KBLA.store for all the official merch on your favorite talk radio station, KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you looking to steer your career in a new direction? Driving for the Culver City Bus can be your ticket to a long-lasting career with excellent benefits and paid training. Culver City Bus is looking for customer service and safety-minded bus operators to join the growing team. Culver City Bus offers on-the-job paid training, uniform allowance, and health benefits. Culver City Bus are now even putting their money in your pocket with a one-time $2,500 sign-on bonus. Let us connect you with an essential service job. If you enjoy driving, seek real opportunities for career advancement, and passionate about making a difference in your community, and we invite you to join the team. Start your journey by submitting an application at culvercity.org/job. For more information, visit culvercitybus.com or call the live customer service operator at 310-253-6500. Again, 350-253-6500.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegally and commonly mixed with illicit drugs. It can even be pressed into counterfeit pills that resemble prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams could potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an ad to make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com. This message is brought to you by the Ad Council.
If this were a Reese's TV ad, you'd be staring at a Reese's peanut butter cup. And sure, my voice is peanut buttery smooth, but still, you need to see the peanut butter cups, right? No? I can really just say Reese's and you'll go get some? Okay. Reese's. 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 Really working, actually. Reese's. Reese's. I'm on to something. Reese's. Reese's. Reese's.
What thank you?
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's cal-cruise-news.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today. For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look. And unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So, let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California, once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at a gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event. Or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it. Together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family was founded to help address domestic violence and sexual assault in the Asian and the Pacific Islander communities. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family's mission is to build healthy and safe communities by addressing the root causes and consequences of family violence and violence against women. They are committed to meeting the specific cultural and language needs of the Asian and Pacific Islander women and their families. CPAF's vision is of an Asian and Pacific Islander community that embraces healthy relationships and works in partnership with other communities to eradicate all forms of violence. To access services, volunteer, or for more info, visit nurturingchange.org. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe everyone deserves to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA.
Getting the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Time to sit there. Oh, snap, I gotta go to work. All I got is 15 minutes, and I wanna get up in it. Ain't got no time to talk, just come and bring me up. Ain't got no time for love, just come and give me some. Ain't got no time to talk, just come and bring me up.
Something the new kids don't know about. Only having 15 minutes.
Baby.
Break me off. You are checking out RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. You are locked in RSVP VIPs with RSVP.
Whatever happened to this guy?
Is that a bot?
No. You don't know who this is?
I recognize the voice, but no, I cannot think of the name at the moment.
Who is it? This is Mark Nelson from, I think the group was As Yet.
Come on, man. That's the Sky video. Last night, right? I felt
so. Was that the group though, As Yet, that he was in?
You know what? I'm going to have to do some research on that. I don't know if he
was
ever in the group.
As Yet, or was he the guy that was in Boys to Men before Boys to Men?
No. I think the group was As Yet, but he was the lead singer of that group.
I know it's M-A-R-C Nelson.
Yes, and he went solo.
And he was a tall, brown-skinned guy.
Tall, dark-skinned, bald guy, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He was an original member of Boys to Men. That's what I
thought. Oh, okay.
It was Boys to Men, yeah. He was the 5th member of Boys to Men, and he left the group. He thought he had a deal.
He wasn't As Yet. You're right.
Okay.
Oh, he was in As Yet too.
As Yet. That was what he was in first.
And he started out in Boys to Men. He was in Boys to Men. Didn't stay.
But didn't he come after the baritone dropped out?
No, he was before, when it was like they were 5. This is before they made it.
Oh, okay.
And then he got it. After he saw what happened with them, he regrouped. Because I guess, so the story goes, he was a little arrogant during the Boys to Men that time period. He didn't want to stay down. And they blew up. And then he formed As Yet, and I don't know what happened with them. But
so it was a management issue with regards to the whole Boys to Men situation. I guess he had management prior to Boys to Men. And I guess his management wouldn't allow him to join the group or something.
Okay. All right, that makes sense, because depending upon what you hear at the time, they alluded, with management, different contracts or whatever. It was different time.
Okay.
He bounced back, though, at least, yeah. I remember the As Yet video because they had the special effects in it. That's, where they had the lightning in the background and it was the 4 of them and they were turning around.
That was
whatever.
A good time in R&B.
Yeah, that was like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Very nondescript group, though. I don't remember anything about the group other than they were a group.
Yeah, I remember what they looked like. That was it.
I remember what he looked like. Forensic Accountant, As Yet, original Boys to Men. So Forensic Accountant, shout out you for knowing that. Carrie Webb is shouting you out for your subtle brag.
I love Carrie. She's so funny.
She caught that.
What subtle brag?
I'm not sure, but that's what she dropped in the
chat. You know what? Let me just say something. Carrie always thinks the worst of me. Like, whatever, girl. It wasn't a brag. Come on.
You don't even know what she's talking
I
about.
know. I'm toying. I'm trolling her now.
Okay.
She knows how I'm doing. Insert Wendy Williams meme here.
Okay. Well, before we were discussing how the younger generation is not getting it in, apparently.
They need to put on some old school music.
Last night, they live in old school music. I don't think that's the cure.
What is it?
Socials. Maybe we need to go back to the socials where you had to sit across from each other and they made you go across and ask somebody to dance. Yeah. When they stopped slow dancing in the club, they messed everything up.
We got another element.
What did you say, Andy?
So we got another element too.
What else?
So Wayne Brady recently just came out.
Pansexual, yeah. They get to choose a lot of different things. Pansexual.
Will.i.am.
Yeah. Well, no, Will.i.am he said that he grew up around all women, so that he has feminine mannerisms, and that it's just that because this is what he saw, he didn't allude to his sexuality being somewhere else. I mean, I don't know. Depending upon who you ask, maybe that could fall under queer. Not sure if that is what metrosexual is. But to your point, there are a lot of more options now that you could slide yourself in, which by doing that, to your point, too, effectively kind of takes you out of the dating thing because it's kind of like, well, there's not really a place for me. And the person I'm looking for is kind of, a hybrid. So they may not exist. So I'm this thing, but I'm not connecting with anyone else at this moment because I'm a lot of things. So I see it in that.
Yeah, I get that.
Urban Spencer, why do we care about Wayne Brady being pansexual? It's not so much that we care, and we actually had this conversation about whether or not it was worthy of him making that announcement. But it's just, the point of it is just to note that there are different areas that people can slot into now, which is probably tapping into the lack of dating, the lack of relationships, because, people are working things out. And whereas before there were no sort of alternate labels for what you were, or the space for it, exactly. So I mean,
I didn't hear that segment of the show last night about Wayne Brady his announcement.
That was actually Monday night when we talked about that.
Was the theory that he was jumping ahead of something came out?
We talked about that.
Okay.
We did talk about the possibility that maybe there was something that's come out. We also discussed he and his wife's new boyfriend live together and co-parent. I mean, it could just be that currently where we are, people are more open to talk about it and discuss it.
He and his
wife,
and
his wife's new boyfriend, all live together to help co-parent.
I thought that's what you said, but okay, got it. So basically, somebody around him close was getting ready to expose that he was in a polyamorous situation with the wife and the man.
I mean, it could be. I mean, we consider it could be any of that, or just, again,
I mean, come on.
It is something that. What project does Wayne Brady have right now as well? So it could be any of those things, or he just wanted to let you know this is where I'm at. Maybe it'll help somebody.
No, he was jumping ahead of something. Black men don't do stuff like that.
Pretty Brown Mimi wants to know, is pansexual another term for bisexuality? Kind of, yeah. I mean, basically, it depends on who you ask. Like with some of these things, the definitions are more personal to the individual and how they slot them under. To me, pansexual and queer kind of fall under the same umbrella. I may be wrong in that. I'm not saying that to be offensive, and I'm not saying it in a negative way. I'm just saying, it seems like, it depends.
You know what? A lot of the times, as the resident black gay person, let me just say this. I think that this is just another another buzzword to make gay acceptable.
I mean, maybe. I think it is a way to ease into it, especially for someone who may have lived the majority, at least of their public life, as heterosexual.
Yes.
It may be an easier transition for other people, or maybe even for himself, or someone else, because we do know that especially Wayne is a Gen Xer, so he was raised in a different era where there were different things that were attached to being gay or bisexual, or, even having that curiosity. So that could have a great deal to do with all of that. Andy?
I think my understanding of being pansexual, pansexual is it's more of a broader term than bisexual. Bisexual, I like men, I like women. Pansexual is I could like transgender, I could like men, I could like women, I could like heterosexual, homosexual, I could like it all.
Right, but see, to me, that's overcomplicating what basically is you could like a man or you could like a woman, and depending upon how you think about a woman, or transgender can fall underneath that. You know what I mean? I just think that it's oversimplifying it. You love everybody depending upon the given night and the given mood.
And then I wanted to say this about Wayne Brady, because I think a lot of people have been trying to figure out, well, why is he saying this? I do agree that it's 2023. We're in a more progressive state than what we were back in the day or whatnot. So yes, a little bit more socially acceptable to announce it, but I also think it's also a form of healing as well too. You know, when you put it out there that this is what it is, I'm not just saying it just to be saying it because I have something going on or there's this particular scandal somebody's going to expose me. No, I'm saying it because this is an expression of healing. You know,
it's a relief.
It's a relief.
It's a release because, to your point, a 50-something-year-old Caribbean black man probably has been holding on to a lot of things for a very long time, and maybe just the act of saying it publicly, you feel like you can finally be at peace with yourself. You don't have to worry about whatever you're doing. If you're out and you're looking at her and you're looking at him too, and you're looking at them maybe together, you don't have to worry about somebody like because it's already known that that's the way it is. So get on. I mean, they're gonna do it anyway, but get over it or get lost. When we come forward, we will have more trending topics and hot headlines here on RSVP with Jill Munroe live on KBLA Talk 1580.
Infusing us into fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward.
Have you heard about Lendistry? Lendistry is a national black-led small business lender that is headquartered right here in LA. Once you've started your business, Lendistry provides flexible financing options starting at $50,000 to help you access the affordable capital needed to grow. Whether financing is needed to increase working capital, acquire a business, purchase inventory and equipment, or refinance debt, Lendistry has a solution for you. Lending products range from traditional business term loans and non-revolving lines of credit to SBA 7A loans and commercial real estate financing. Lendistry's free application process is simple and does not impact your credit score. Visit lendistry.com/KBLA to learn more and to get started with an application right from the website.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. As part of JP Morgan Chase commitment, they are taking action to help improve financial wealth and access to banking in the Black community, helping more people open low-cost checking and savings accounts, hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, and downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for education as a right, not a privilege. Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science is a private, non-profit, community-founded, student-centered university committed to cultivating diverse health profession leaders who are dedicated to social justice and health equity for underserved populations. CDU does this through outstanding education, clinical service, and community engagement. Recently, Charles Drew University made history by opening only the 5th medical school at an historically Black university. Congratulations, South LA, and congratulations to the Dean of the medical school, Dr. Deborah Proto-Stiff. CDU is now training doctors and providing $90 million in annual economic benefit to Watts and surrounding neighborhoods. To apply for medical school, get more information, or sign your child up for the Junior Doctors Saturday School program, visit cdrewu.edu. cdrew.edu. That's cdrew.edu. At KBLA, we are dedicated to equity in education and ending healthcare apartheid. And we don't back down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
Hey, you are tapped in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So we were just having a conversation regarding the acceptance of, more sexual lifestyles, activities. How would you term that?
I'm old school. For me is gay and lesbian is two things. Is man, woman, is gay, lesbian. And between breaks, I said to Andy that I disagree with him about, gay being more accepted in culture, because as a person who has been black and gay for 40 years, okay, and who has a whole brand based on being gay and black, people are not buying it. Okay, they're not supporting it. Black people are not co-signing being gay. It's not happening. So I'm going to disagree with you on that. Like, society, may say cool, but black people are still holding on to the values that they hold on to. And as a person who lives this every day, black people still ain't going for it. And you can still get attacked and killed for being gay and black. We just had a situation last week.
Because more acceptance does not mean that there is the absence of, hate or, anger or that stuff. So I will say that.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, respect it totally, obviously. Yeah. I don't walk in those shoes, so I can't say that I disagree with what you're saying because I don't live that life. But what I will say is I do think that it is still more of an open conversation than it has been previously.
Sure.
That does not mean that it is by any means perfect or completely. I think even within some black homes, I can't say that it is safe for everyone, but I do see a more, at least from my perspective, when in conversation and seeing it, again, not saying for everything, not saying it's perfect, and not saying it's down the line, but I do think that if we ignore some of the progress that has taken place, it does a disservice to people like yourself or that are out there sharing their stories and putting themselves out there and, letting their experience be open for everyone to take in. And so I think that be honest with yourself in that 15 years ago, could you have your show in the way that you do? And the amount of people be tapping into it and checking for that.
The funny thing is, I was the same exact person.
But would the people be willing to be as accepting, and to be open of it at that time?
It hasn't changed much because I had a podcast 15 years ago before it was a thing. And I'm telling you, not much has changed.
Okay.
About this much. Now, people are, because what I feel, my support is from being authentic and it's real, and because I've been consistent and not giving up on what I wanted to do, that's why I have the support that I have, not necessarily because the content is more acceptable.
Okay.
Because people still get freaked out about it. And here's the thing. If we were in a different place culturally with black people, Wayne Brady wouldn't have to make comments like that, and we wouldn't be having the commentary or the response to it that we have regarding it either.
I don't think that Wayne Brady made the comment for black people. I'm just going to say that. I don't think that is primarily his audience.
My bad, because you're right, because we don't consider, I do, and here's the thing. A lot of people don't consider Wayne Brady to be quote unquote black.
Listen. I did not say that, and I'm not saying that. And I understand.
Let me clean that up. I didn't say that he wasn't because I know him to be right, and I know what it is. But he is on CBS at 10 o'clock in the morning every day. That is a certain audience that you have to play into, and there's a certain code that you have to apply by when you are on at 10 a.m. during the day for retired folks in Middle America.
And I agree with that too. What I will say is that I do think that there are different aspects of blackness, black life, the black experience. And, whereas in the past, we have been more tight with our definition of what defines blackness and what makes someone black, and we still hold on to those things
strongly
to this day. And again, that extends to what you were saying and the points that you were just making. You know, even though there are questions surrounding the black church and some people's belief in it and how it flows and some of the messages that flows out, it's still very much something that is a through line in our community, yes. Something that is looked at as a rallying point and a gathering point, and they tend to, in general, have certain conservative views or old school views as it relates to such. So I understand what you mean with that, but I do think that there are different aspects of the black experience, and though it's fun to at sometimes say, you don't get an invite to the picnic, I'm taking your black card for this. We do have to realize that there's a bunch of different things that make up yes. what it means to be black, especially as we continue to evolve and take up space in the world.
And let me just say this. I believe that if you want to know who Wayne Brady is as a person, as a black man in this country, you go back and you watch that Dave Chappelle skit, and that will give you everything that you need to know.
Is Wayne Brady going to have to choke up beef?
And will. Don't try it, okay? Listen.
That was one of my favorite episodes. Andy, what do you have to say?
I love Wayne Brady, by the way.
I was just going to piggyback off of what you just said, Jill, I mean, because, you don't even like to do the cha-cha slide, so, but I'm not going to take your black card away. But
I mean, really, and as I said, I made it very clear, there are some things that I know some of you would be like, questionable, homegirl. And the thing is, I'll take it, but what I will not take is you have no cause, no way, and no access to remove my black card. I'm just going to let you all know that. So don't even try that. You can think it all you want to, but the reality is not that.
Every time I tell people that I don't eat chicken, they snatch it all the time.
What? He does not eat chicken.
See?
He does not eat chicken.
And I'm allergic to chicken, as a matter of fact. Can't even eat it if I wanted to.
So, see, that's a different thing. That is
I used to eat it, though.
See, that is different from willfully choosing not to eat it and not being able to eat it because it's a life and death thing,
Man, I miss gumbo and a buffalo wing.
That's different. But, look, there are a lot of things that can add to and define what makes you
having
black.
Field day with that one.
But, I think it's interesting. I think it's an interesting topic to look at. Be happy. That's what I can say. And ultimately, when it comes down to it,
be yourself.
I know, we like to kiki about this stuff, but real talk, we don't care. So there's that.
We don't. And and all of this is so crazy because even with all of the different levels of the things that we go through as black people are some of the most accepting and understanding people. And even with my own experience, I've always felt supported and didn't feel any kind of way. People know I was gay forever. Ain't no thing. And most black people are cool with it as long as you don't bring it to them. That's it.
Keep that over there.
Yes.
When we come forward, hour 3, we're going to get into Marlon Wayans' comments and Is Sarcasm Dead? We're going to get into our Tubi movie review. We're going to talk about how UPS workers now make over 6 figures. All that and more. You are checking out RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
I won't be enough. I bet he's gonna wanna know why, and I just can't tell him no right now.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Former Black